Hello everyone, my name is Zulus, and this is something very different today. I'm doing sort of a vlog-esque thing because it is a special day for the LGBT community in the United States. If you do not know, today is considered National Coming Out Day, which is a day to raise awareness for LGBT youth to about coming out and how it is okay with themselves, basically. So, given such, I know that I'm usually an LPer and don't usually do stuff like this, but this day is important enough for me to tell you that I'm bisexual. And I wanted to tell you my experiences in the military as a bisexual soldier and how it has affected me and how it does get better despite the circumstances. So, first, I wanted to talk about basic training and how that was. Obviously, it's that big part that most people probably know about, given movies and stereotypes, I suppose, and Full Metal Jacket, but that's the Marine Corps. But you know that it is the indoctrination, I guess, of sorts, where that is the turning point where you go from civilian to soldier. So it's very high stress, very high intensity training. And in the Army, it is a 9-week long course, so to speak, where it is a real test of someone's, I guess, fortitude in a way. So I went to Fort Benning, Georgia for my basic training on July 9th, 2012. Now, when I was here, it got to the point, so I'm not going to describe the whole thing and how, that's for another day. But what happened was that when I got there, I sort of went in thinking, okay, I need to keep quiet about myself. People aren't supposed to know about this because I'm going to be meeting people from all over the country. Now, I grew up in California with a very supporting family and a supporting community around me. This was really the first time that I had a bit of culture shock, you could say, because I never met people. I honestly never met people, except for what I heard in the news. I never met people that honestly did not understand what it meant to be gay or bisexual. And it was a bit of a shock when I started to hear people talking. There was people who used homophobic slurs as if it were regular speech. And it didn't bother me too much, but it eventually did get to me, especially in the high stress circumstances. It was weird. These were really the only times that I kind of almost remembered my sexuality because it never really came to my mind during the training. Like, I would just remember, like, oh yeah, this is a part of who I am. Like, other than that, you're just thinking soldier, soldier, soldier. That's all you can think about. So, when people started using homophobic slurs a lot more and how they were worried about how they would hate if someone gay was in their platoon or something like that, I was like, okay, this is actually starting to bother me now. So we have someone who's sort of a liaison from the soldiers to the drill sergeants, and that was our platoon guide, who's kind of like a pseudo leader among us, who's also going through basic training. And so I went to him one day and I was like, hey, I know might not turn out well, but I'd really like you to tell people that there is someone in the platoon that is not straight, and this is really starting to bother them. And at the time, there was a policy in the military where if someone is discriminating at someone else for who they are, they could face judicial action, so to speak. Although at the time, this policy does not cover LGBT youth, and I was not aware of that. So I thought it could have maybe worked. I was like, hey, can you let them know that this is not okay and they can't say that? And of course, on Sunday, it escalated. At the time, I decided to go to religious services. While I'm not religious myself, it was something that was interesting to learn about during basic training. And I think most soldiers do that when they're going through basic training. So I went to a Buddhist service, and when I returned, apparently he told people while I was gone. And because I was as soon as I came back, someone came up to me like, hey, are you gay? Are you bisexual? You need to tell me, man. And I was like, whoa, I did not expect this. Like, I did not realize that it was that obvious. Because I don't think it is. But I guess it came to the conclusion because he said it while I was not there. And I do kind of regret this, but I lied. I told them that I wasn't. Because they basically turned it into a witch hunt. They wanted to find out who was the gay kid that was watching them in the showers, which was not true at all. I'd just like to say. It's the same thing like how some people are obviously only attracted to a couple people and other people they're not attracted to. It's the same thing with us. Like bisexual and gay men do not find every single man attractive, and none of these guys were attractive at all. Let me just let me just tell you. So we went through basic training just fine, people eventually forgot about it, I guess, but that didn't stop people from knowing or figuring it out near the end. Someone came up to me. It was the same person who asked me and almost persecuted me in the beginning, that came up to me to apologize, and he said that he found out, and I was like, I'm not going to say yes or no, but I'm going to thank you for apologizing. So then we moved on to AIT, which is called Advanced Individual Training. It is where soldiers get specific job training in their primary MOS, which stands for Military Occupational Specialty. My AIT was in Fort Gordon, Georgia, which is where all signal soldiers go for like communications stuff, because I'm a 25 Bravo, which is basically a computer guy. So here it was a little different. Things were a little more relaxed, still a bit, in training sort of thing. So it still was pretty high stress. We were going to school basically for 12 hours a day, and that's not a lie, like 12 hours a day. And you still had to wake up really early to do physical training. And I made the mistake here of coming out, like flat out. People had already had questions and thought, and actually a couple people from my basic training were with me. And I thought it would be okay here. I don't know why, and I still regret this decision. So I came out to people about the middle of training, and I don't think they accepted it so much as they tolerated it because they knew they had to. After I told people, they began to question me. I got barraged with questions. Like, it was weird and a culture shock, just like basic training, because I legitimately never met people that did not understand what it meant to be bisexual. But obviously people didn't understand that, and it honestly was more stressful than basic training because people shut up about it in basic training, which was fine by me. But here people kept persisting. They're like, how do you know for sure? You can't know for sure. How do you choose? You have to choose one. And I was just there like, no, I don't. It really is just as simple as that. But they didn't understand, so that was who they were. They didn't understand, but that was fine. We moved on. I moved on to my next unit, and I was honestly a little relieved because no one came with me here that knew, I guess. So I came here to my current unit, which is Fort Stewart, still in Georgia, and I arrived here determined. After AIT, I was like, I'm not going to tell anyone. No one's going to know. My personal life is going to be my personal life. But of course, this doesn't work out in practice. Eventually word got out because I had a close friend of mine, probably one of my best friends. He visited, and we were affectionate towards each other. And so when I said goodbye to him, someone saw, and it clearly was not a heterosexual way to say goodbye. We'll put it at that. And so he asked me, he's like, hey, I saw you with this guy over there. Are you? And then he just sort of stopped, expecting me to just fill in the rest. And I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, I am. Please don't tell anyone, though. It's something I don't like to share. And he's like, okay, Mando, you got it. No problem. He shared anyways. But as it turns out, it was for better intentions. He told people, like my coworkers and all that, to sort of warn them so that they don't end up offending me, which it's good, but I'm really still upset that word got out. Of course, I found out that there were other LGBT soldiers here, and that I sort of do have a support network here, which is kind of surprising, and that my close coworkers, even that I work with every day, know but don't care. And they never prod me or push me to come out in anything. And so I've realized that it is better, and I'm happier because of it, So how I want to conclude this is basically that with my job itself As a bisexual soldier, my sexuality has not affected me at all in terms of how I perform as a soldier. I still have the same job, I wear the same uniform, I do the same duties, and I fight for the same damn country. There's no difference between the next soldier and myself, except for who we like back home. And I'd also like to take this moment to sort of reach out, I guess, to other people to let other LGBT youth know, even in the military, that it does get better, um, despite what the current circumstances may be. There actually are a surprising amount of people that support LGBT youth and the LGBT movement. So just know that it does get better, and it's, again, really just as simple as that. Things are changing, and they always will change. And keep looking forward. That's just all you have to do, and you will find people that will make you happy, and people that support you, and close friends that you can really go to for any problem. And that's really all I got for you guys. I mean, that's all there is to it today. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. It's not always something I share, so have a good one, you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.